Dave and Sandy have always shown their love of the downtown with freely giving their time, talents, and treasures. As owners of the Proctor Building, after an extensive renovation project, the Newcastle Hotel became loft apartments and the first floor retail space, a beautiful addition to our downtown. Dave is a past board of director, serving as design committee co-chair. We thank the Whitmores. Pam Hume is accepting the gift for the Whitmores.
Thank you.
Whether it's an office assignment, working at Car Fund, street dance, Dickens, the golf outing, or vacation receptionist, Sonia is willing to donate her time to Main Street with enthusiasm and a willingness to help out for whatever it needs to be done. With a love for downtown, you'll find Sonia attending new stores' grand openings, First Friday, or any one of the community events to keep in touch with what's going on. Thank you so much, Sonia. I'm not sure what happened first. Bob decided he wanted to be on the golf committee, so he decided to take up golf. Or he started to play, decided the golf outing would be a great way to help out Main Street and practice his putting. Either way, he and Helene have been members of the golf committee for 6 years, each year working to make it a bit more fun, more profitable from the year before. Judging from the last 2 years' sellout attendance, they're doing a great job. But it doesn't end there. At Street Dance, you'll find them in the money pit, keeping track of the profits. And if you've been to the Holiday Victorian Tea, you'll find Bob in his red bow tie serving tea, charming the ladies, and later clearing the tables while Helene helps out at the children's shop. As past treasurer, Bob's eye on the dollar spent kept us in the black. It sure did. We are so fortunate to have the enthusiastic Kalaki team as volunteers for Main Street. For the past 25 years, George and Christina Carahalios, owners of, I hope I didn't butcher that. Okay. I was having a hard enough time just with English. Owners of Townie Square Restaurant, one of my boys' favorites, have had a love affair with Libertyville. A family restaurant in the center of downtown is truly a friendly place where everyone knows your name if you become a regular customer. New to the area, Christina will give you Main Street pamphlets, inform you of downtown events, and welcome you to town with open arms. Thank you so much.
Like all Main Street events, the Twilight Shuffle 5K is driven by hardworking volunteers. In her role as the volunteer coordinator of this event, Debbie located and supervised the Twilight Shuffle's 100-plus volunteers for the 2009 and 2010 races. This is a monumental challenge. Getting people to commit to hours of volunteering on a holiday weekend is no small task. But she made it happen. She supplied and organized volunteers for packet pickup, registration, the race course itself, and numerous other important elements of the event. Without Debbie and her army of volunteers, the Twilight Shuffle wouldn't be possible. Thank you, Debbie, for your help. Brought her creativity and organizational skills to the table in 2009 and 2010 as the planner and organizer of the Twilight Shuffle post-race party at Mickey Finn's Brewery. No detail went unnoticed on Brooke's watch. She executed the post-race parties beautifully in spite of rain and other last-minute challenges. We appreciated Brooke's cheerful smile and tireless efforts as she worked with Mickey Finns to successfully feed and water hundreds of eager race participants and their families, which is no small task. She is undoubtedly the hostess with the mostest. Thank you, Brooke.
That does all the great work that night of the party. So, good job.
On August 1st last year, Libertyville and Main Street lost a fond supporter and friend, Dom Lentini. As a 30-year downtown building and business owner of Some Other Nuts, Dom's commitment to the success of the Main Street program as a past board of director and the downtown was well known. In his honor, the board of directors is introducing the Dom Lentini Award to be given each year to a downtown business owner. The award is in recognition of a downtown business that has shown exceptional leadership and dedication in the promotion and benefit of the downtown community following the principles of the Main Street Libertyville organization. To award this first-time award, we'd like to ask Philip Lentini to come up and say a few words.
Boy, it wasn't until just a short while ago I realized how many people and why my father had to spend so much time talking to everybody when my poor sister Ann Lee was running around like crazy, keeping the store in shape. But it's really wonderful to see everybody here. And it's really an honor to have this award named after my father. And you know, when I found out that they'd be naming this after my father, at first, my initial thought was that, you know, you're giving an award out for people who could scold children in a store the best, because, you know, my father would kind of keep the kids in line in town, and invariably they would come back years later and said, you know, you were good that you yelled at me and stopped me from stealing. It's easy to steal penny candy when it costs 2 cents a piece. But anyway, all kidding aside, my father was a New Yorker through and through. And I hate to say this, but he never really loved Chicago. He stayed here because when he met my mother, and that's where she was from, and in those days, when Italian girls got married, you stayed where your parents lived. You didn't go back to New York. But I can tell you that he did come to really love Libertyville. Chicago wasn't the place for him. He never understood why there were salads on the hot dogs, but Libertyville he really liked a lot. Before there was a Main Street, my understanding is that business owners would get together and they would chat about what could be done to improve downtown Libertyville. And the story, as I understand it, was that there were several business owners who were meeting at the Picnic Basket. And they were discussing the future of downtown and what could be done to make it better and bring more people shopping here. Because if you weren't from here back then, and when my folks first came out here, downtown was a bit of a ghost town. We have some pictures where the buildings, Proctor Building didn't look beautiful like it did now. Many other buildings didn't quite look the way it did. So they would discuss ways to do it, and they'd have all these good ideas, but when it came down to implementing them, everybody was busy running their businesses, so nobody really had time to, you know, go out and do these events and plan these things. And I think it was my father and Dan Mayworm, who were a couple of the originals who discovered Main Street USA. I remember my father telling me about this Main Street USA program that they had found, and they thought it would be good for Libertyville. And I believe that's how they kind of pushed to get people involved and get Main Street Libertyville going. So you flash forward to all these years, and now we have this vibrant downtown and activities that a generation of residents have come to know and love, and who are introducing a second generation of family to know and love our town and all the wonderful events that you folks bring and all the volunteers do and make so great. And in spite of, you know, the recent economic difficulties the last couple of years, I know that if my father were here, he'd